Once upon a time, in a faraway land, not too far away from here, there was a little girl who loved to read, and her name was Elsie. And Elsie loved to read adventure books. She loved stories about daring escapes and journeys to far-off lands. But most of all, she loved talking books. Not those audiobooks that you listen to, but actual books that talked. You know, like the ones with the secret messages inside. Elsie would visit the library every Saturday with her mum. It was their special thing. But one Saturday morning, while looking for new books, Elsie stumbled upon a dusty old trunk tucked away in the library's attic. When she opened it, she found a collection of leather-bound books with silver clasps. As soon as her fingers touched the clasp of the first book, it sprang open and a tiny voice whispered, "Read me, and I will tell you a story." Startled, Elsie looked around, but there was no one in the attic. All she saw was the book in her hands, which now seemed to be glowing faintly. Then she remembered what the book had said. So she started reading it, and the book told her an amazing story about a brave knight and a fearsome dragon. But as she read, Elsie noticed something strange. The attic around her was disappearing, and she was falling, tumbling through the pages of the book. When she landed, she found herself in a thick, dark forest, just like the one described in the book. And in the distance, she heard the roar of a ferocious dragon. Suddenly, the knight from the book appeared before her, his armor gleaming in the sunlight. "Help me, O fair maiden," he cried. "I must slay the dragon, but I am trapped in a tower." Without hesitation, Elsie set off to help him. As she journeyed through the forest, she came across a wise old wizard who offered to help her on her quest. He gave her a magic ring that shimmered with power. "Put this on," he said, "and it will protect you from harm." Then, with a wave of his magic wand, he transformed her into a beautiful white horse. And she raced to the tower where the knight was being held captive. When she arrived, she whinnied loudly to get the attention of the guards. And when they opened the door to come out, she bolted, pulling the rope cart with the knight inside. They raced down the hill and away from the dragon's lair, and Elsie knew that together they would succeed in defeating the dragon and restoring peace to the kingdom. And that is exactly what they did. And then, with the dragon defeated and the kingdom saved, the knight turned to Elsie, his face filled with gratitude. "Oh, how can I ever repay you for your help?" he asked. But Elsie only smiled mysteriously and whispered, "My adventure is just beginning." And just like that, Elsie vanished from the book and reappeared back in the attic of the library. In her hands, she still held the book, which was now closed. She looked around to make sure no one was watching, and then opened the book once more. And as she did, she heard a voice say, "Read me, and I will tell you a story." And so she did. This time, the book took her on a thrilling journey across the ocean to a faraway island where parrots talked and monkeys rode bicycles. There she met a friendly giant who needed her help to find his lost spectacles so that he could locate his favorite flower. The shy, elusive moon blossom. With the help of some magical creatures, Elsie found the giant's glasses and returned them to him. And as a reward, the giant carried her to the very top of his garden wall, where she could see the beautiful moon blossom growing in all its glory. Then, just like before, Elsie felt herself falling, tumbling through the pages of the book. And when she landed, she found herself back in the library attic. The books whispered their stories, waiting for someone to discover their secrets. And Elsie knew that she would spend many happy hours exploring their magical worlds, for she had found the secret library of talking books. And she was its keeper now. And if you want to hear more amazing stories, don't forget to subscribe so that we can read more books together. Bye.